Hello there Pixies, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hi. This is completely spontaneous. I'm only doing this video because I've seen a lot of articles and things being said about J.K. Rowling these past few days, and it's really bothering me. And whatever you may think about her, that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to bring some positivity to the table, and I wanted to share a letter that I wrote to her when I was 19, maybe 18. She never did reply to me, but I thought that I would show this just to remind people what it was like before this whole Fantastic Beasts debacle and why people fell in love with this series in the first place, and specifically why I fell in love with the series in the first place. This isn't very polished or anything, but this is it. Dear Joe, my name is Rihanna, and I have been a fan of yours since I was just 6 years old. I'm now nearly 20, though in my mind I'm still 6. I know I am just one of many millions of people whose hearts and minds you have touched with your history-making story and your humility. But I would still love to tell you how you've touched my life, even if you never get to read this personally. First of all, I was born legally blind and my vision is severely low. As you can imagine, when reading stories as a young age, and even now, there weren't many heroes with a visual impairment. And so naturally, there were few heroes I could relate to in that sense. A lot of adults would not expect much of me because of my disability, and reading about Harry really taught me that I could do almost anything a fully sighted person could do. If Harry could take on a basilisk, so could I. I've carried this little motto throughout my life, in a way. The more I read about your characters, the more real they seemed to me. I was always very shy and awkward as a child, and never really had many friends. I was usually misunderstood and wise beyond my years, so Dumbledore and Luna appealed to me the most. Sometimes, your characters felt like my only friends, and still do at times, though I know I'm loved. About a year ago, I was suffering from depression and felt like nothing would ever go right for me again. I was in an incredibly dark place, which I never want to go to again, but honestly, your books helped me through those dark days more than I ever thought they would. In fact, your books are one of the main reasons I'm still here, able to write this, since the overarching theme of love throughout the books helped me remember that I am loved, even though adversities happen in my life. Without learning that through the metaphors and imagery of the books, I don't think I would ever have truly understood that, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Aside from all that, your charitable nature was always something I admired about you. From an early age, I said that if I ever became as successful as you at writing, music, or acting, the three things I love most, I would give my money to those less fortunate than myself, or even go out and help them myself. It's one of the main reasons that I keep pursuing my dreams. I also love that you don't shun failure or strive for perfection, that you just do the best you can with the talent you have. I used to strive to be perfect at everything, a lot like Hermione, but soon learnt that doing this is self-destructive, partly because of you, especially when reading about how Hermione overworked herself in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Anyway, whether you read this personally or not, I'd like you to know that you have been an integral part of my life for the past 13 years, and now more, and shall be for all my days. I'll be reading your books when I'm 90, and when a grandchild says, "After all this time," I shall reply with a simple always. My gosh, I can't. I haven't read this in so many years, but that is why I really think people need to remember what it is that they love about the books. It may not be what I love about them. In fact, it won't be the same thing, but I just think we need to have lumos, you know? Bring lumos to the world instead of this negativity. I get that people have different opinions on her, and I understand that she's not perfect, and her writing isn't perfect, but frankly, I feel like people are bullying her, and that is not acceptable. So, whether you like this video or not, that's fine, but I just thought that I would bring some positivity back to this fandom. So, if you did like this, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't, feel free to give it a dislike as well. I don't mind. Just take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.